haven't been here since the very beginning, but I have been here since my very beginning. And the first meetings of Christ Church of Oronogo were held in our parents' home. That took place 17 years prior to my birth, so all I know about it is what I've been told. But from my understanding, Christ Church of Oronogo was born of a split from the Tower of Light Church, then located less than a mile from our current facility. As brand new Christians, this small group of charter members decided they couldn't survive on teaching that conflicted with what the Scriptures taught. So they started a church where that would not be the case. Certain things are essential for survival, and just as a family must live together in a home, Christians must find a church home. And if there isn't one where they are, then you start one. That's all they knew, but that's all they needed to know to follow the Lord's leading. Our family and all the other charter members of Christ Church were ordinary, common folk with little money, little resources, but God used them in big ways because of their faithfulness to Him and His Word.
It has been truly a blessing for me to be able to have a front row seat to what God has done here at Christ Church for the past 55 years. I brought with me a couple of things today that are heart treasures that I have the privilege of owning. This is a picture of Christ Church as it looked in 1983. I was recently given this treasure, and it proudly hangs in my kitchen as a reminder of the faithfulness of those who invested in my life as a child here at Christ Church. This building no longer exists except in my memory, but it was in this building that I came to church for the first time as a baby. I was baptized at 7 years old, and I married the love of my life, who I met at Christ Church when we were in elementary school. Although this building holds a special place in my heart, it's the people that God used that I will forever be grateful for. My other treasure is a book. It's the beginnings of Christ Church. It's called His Story of Christ Church. This is a book written by my mother, Mae Moss. She wrote it to her 4 children as a gift to us in the year 2000. These pages contain facts and pictures of the people God used to grow a harvest for the kingdom. Many of the people mentioned on these pages are people who had a strong influence on us while we were growing up here at Christ Church. They aren't just names on a page. They are people who invested in our family. You see, neither one of our parents grew up in a Christian home. Truth be told, I think there were some pretty rough characters in our background. But because of the influence of Christ Church and what it had on our parents and grandparents, Jim and I have never known a home without Jesus. The words of life spoken to our parents over 70 years ago have influenced 5 generations of our family to worship and serve the Lord here at Christ Church. God's people here have blessed us in so many ways. The ladies of this church helped me plan a wedding during the same time that my parents were ending their 40-year marriage. This church provided meals when I had to go on bed rest for 2 months with my first child. There have been so many faithful friends of this church who also sat by the bedside of our mom and dad and comforted us and sang hymns as our parents were ushered into the presence of the Lord. The people at this church have been the first to minister to us time and time again during the happy and the sad times in our lives. I will forever be grateful for the faithfulness of God to us in this place through His people.
While it is certainly true that Christ Church of Oronogo has been our family's church home for 5 generations now, it's equally true to say that it's been our home base. Home bases are for sending out and for receiving back, and most of us, Julie and me included, have gone to other places to worship and minister at one time or another as the Lord has led us, but we've been led back here, and this will always be our church home.